Auctions are a phenomenal way to invest in real estate and have opportunity to build your rental portfolio or your real estate investment portfolio. Here are some things for you to consider. Aside from having your buyer broker agreement signed in with all the pertaining clauses, here are 10 things for you to consider as you invest in real estate. Number one, get auction registration instructions. Each auction house has its own rules, regulations, requirements, time frame, and required deposit. So register and follow their instructions. Number two, make sure your buyer is financially ready to purchase an auction property. There are specific restrictions or registration policies that need to be followed. Either the buyer is approved or is not approved. Some auctions are cash-only purchases. Prior to an auction, some auction homes give you a 30 to 60 minute access to the property so you can do your evaluation. They even allow you to bring a contractor at that specific time frame to give you advice on what potential improvements can be done to the house and the cost. The contractor needs to come at your own expense and must be there during the specific times to evaluate the home. The auction home does not allow access to the property at any time that's convenient to the buyer or to the agent. They specify the time. Your buyer wins the bid. Yay! The auction house will require that they submit their EMD, that's escrow money deposit, on the spot. There will be a specific amount that is due. In what form? Usually a cashier's check. The auction home will require that that money be deposited immediately. And if the deposit is not turned in, they go to the next person. So be ready. This information will be given to you at registration. Auction bids carry a 3 to 10% buyer premium. That premium is tacked to the final bidding price. So for example, if your client wins the bid at $100,000 and the premium is 10%, an additional $10,000 will be added to the purchase price. Your buyer is responsible for that amount at the end of settlement. Your buyer wins the bid but doesn't purchase the home, they are risking their EMD. Again, there will be a specific amount that has to be brought to the table. If they do not proceed to settlement, most auction homes do not allow an extension. They will lose the portion or the entire deposit, so the buyer needs to be ready and aware of the consequences. There can be additional fees that the buyer needs to be aware when purchasing an auction home. There could be taxes, there could be technology fee, or special title fees that they need to be aware of. All this information will be disclosed to you at registration and or if there's a packet put together for the property that you're going to be auctioning on. Buyer agent compensation. The buyer and the agent need to have a conversation about this subject prior to getting registered with an auction home. Most of the time, the buyer is responsible for paying the buyer agent the compensation. Occasionally, an auction home will pay the buyer a minimum fee, but all of that has to be in writing. Again, go back to registration. They will let you know if any fee will be covered. Also, compensation needs to be clearly disclosed in the buyer broker agreement, which needs to be in place prior to a bid. Auction homes carry some liability. There could be tax issues, there could be title issues. The buyer needs to be prepared to address any additional expenses due to taxes or expenses to clear the title. Most of the time, auctions are cash, so all the responsibility, all the liability falls on the buyer to get all that information squared away with the title and or with the county. Again, auctions offer a great opportunity to invest in real estate, whether you want to build a rental portfolio or you want to be a real estate investor. It is critical that you never assume anything. Ask questions, understand the subject matter. real estate offers a lot of opportunities, and auctions are a great way to build this investment portfolio, but you do need to be aware of the liability and the potential expenses. Looking for real estate services and auction? Luisa Sipo Remax Executives. Let's begin your home journey. Let's begin your home journey.